What's up, guys? How's it going? I hope you're all good and everyone's well out there, all around the world, which is mind-blowing, really, when you think about it. Yeah, welcome. So, I need a 5x5, guys, before we crack on. Yeah, there's a fair amount of people in here. That's good. No video. Well, you can't see me. Are you kidding? What? Oh, the video's just come on. Yeah, do you know what? Even my mate Jason of Archaics was saying StreamYard's been really acting weird lately. I had to reset everything just before we come on. We never used to do that. Anyway, guys, thank you. You can see and hear me. That's important. Brilliant. Okay, so whilst everyone's coming on board, the notifications are being sent out everywhere. Daniel's saying it's very blurry. Wow. Really? Bugger. Well, it's saying I've got full signal and it's not heavy, crazy weather outside. John, how's it going, mate? Good. Beach Hut Man, yet to refresh it as well. Ah, is it still? It's blurry now. Gee whiz. It's pixelated. Right, I'm gonna have to refresh it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on with StreamYard. It's being a complete prick at the moment. Right, I'm gonna go dark for a bit, so hang in there. Cool, we're back. Hopefully that's better. I really hope it is. Whistles. What's whistles? Right, all I want to know is everyone can see me. Yes, it's better. Right, okay. 2 minutes of technical. Right, okay. Clear as a bell. Thank you very much, Beat Shut Man. My bro, how's it going? Right, okay. So we're talking about how to stay safe in the UK. Now, the reason I wanted to do this video, it's basically about situation awareness. And I remember doing all of this at least 5 years ago now. In fact, if you guys haven't seen that video, there's a link underneath this one now to situation awareness I've done 5 years ago now. I'm just going to pop it up on the screen so you can see it. Yeah, there's me. I call it Grey Man Concepts. So it's all about being a grey man and not sticking out like a sore thumb. Okay. And as you can tell, more than 5 years ago. Okay. It's a pretty good feedback. There's 144 comments on there. So if you guys want to check out that video from the past, there is a link underneath this one. So you can absolutely watch that one. Let me just close that one down. And also, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of the new guys who's joined. This channel has gone into the atmosphere, and I can just show you some of the things that I meant. So look, in the last 28 days, this YouTube channel has had nearly 4 million views, and we've got an extra 6,727 new subscribers in the last 28 days, which is mind-blowing. So thank you, guys. And if any of you are new here, good to see you. You're amongst friends. We've got a really good community here in the live stream. Incidentally, if you're watching this on a replay and you want to get in and chat live like everyone's doing right now, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. I usually do live streams every Friday at 8 p.m. So if you forget, at least try to remember that one. So that's awesome. Thanks, Rachel. That's my partner. Love her to bits. And she's also a moderator as well. And she doesn't take no prisoners. But it's not fair for her to do it alone. So if any other moderators are here in the chat right now, could you help out if there's any idiots going down? Post links, that sort of thing. It really helps. That's awesome. We got a good team and we got good moderators. So that's really nice to see. So yeah, we're going to be talking basically about, the buzzword is called situational awareness, and what it basically means is because the times are changing, especially here in the UK. I would say in the Western world, the UK is the most unsafe place in the Western world. That's from what I see, from my viewpoint. Okay, and one of the reasons I would say, if you look at how many people have been arrested on social for doing social media posts, whether it's leaving comments on certain videos, or whether it's even posting videos, or even reposting videos. Okay, if the police feel there's a problem there, you are going to come round like I did and get arrested. And I know if you guys, like I say, there's 6,000 you guys here. If you don't know what happened to me, I haven't put the link underneath, but if you look in my live videos and go back till, I think it was February this year, I told everyone for a live stream what happened to me when I got arrested. Banned from using the internet at all for 4 months. Banned from social media. It's real. Okay. And the reason why people are literally putting videos up to make people aware of the truth of what's going on. And the truth of what's going on is we are seeing a very slow collapse of Western civilization. And I know that sounds like really, really like sugar coated and BS, but it's not. Okay. The term that I used years ago is, this is what we're seeing is called a slow burn. Okay. We are slowly crumbling in this society, in Western society. Okay. If you go to the Far East and all over there, you know, especially when 2020 happened, nothing really changed for them. It's 100% being targeted at the West. And because the West is specifically being targeted through all sorts of ways and means, I'm sure some of you guys in the live chat are going to put your views about why you think this Western society is collapsing. And it is. Okay. You have to be blind not to see it. Most of you live in an urban environment. I myself spent 50 years of my life living in urban environments, moreover Portsmouth. Now, if Steve is in the chat, my bro, he's down in Portsmouth right now, and he will tell you how bad and rough it is in Portsmouth. Being born and bred through the 70s and the 80s, trust me, it wasn't no picnic. So from a young boy back then, living in a very, very densely populated city. So we're talking 4.5 square miles, Portsmouth Island, okay, or Portsea Island, as it's known locally. 250,000 people plus living in 4.5 square miles. So that's a lot of people, a lot of social problems, a lot of people on benefits, a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, drinking, lots of fighting, loads of fighting, and loads of violence. And if you was to factor in, we have tourists visiting the UK, a few million in the last couple of years, we are seeing more problems, especially with violent crime, more than we've probably ever seen in our lifetimes. Okay. And that is saying a lot, but I really feel it's the truth. So let me guys know in the live chat, or if you're watching this on a replay, do you live in a town or city? If you do, have you noticed it being in decline over, especially since 2020? So the last 5 years. Okay. So we are talking shops closing down. We are seeing more violence and more crime on the streets, more petty theft, vandalism, etc. And the racial divide has never been larger than what it is right now. And most of us, especially who follow this YouTube channel, are what I would like to call aware preppers. We're not just bog standard preppers. All right. We are people who are aware. So spiritually wide awake. We know what's going on. We talk about stuff on this channel, which not many prepper channels do talk about. Okay. But these are facts. And yes, I do have to be careful, because I was literally on the front line and I was banned, arrested for speaking out. And not many people have got the balls to say the things that I did. So much so, I had 12 police officers outside my house with tasers, and they took me away for 12 hours, questioned, by Special Branch MI5 Counter-Terrorism Police. Serious, not your bog standard Bobby, two Muppets knock on your door wanting to talk to you about the social media. No, they came for me, and they came for me hard. And let me tell you, it's not pleasant. But here we are. We're carrying on fighting the good fight. So what we're talking about is violence. We have to be careful out there. The games have changed now. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video, we're going to go through all of the hints and tips which I've taught myself, which I've learnt myself, cutting my teeth back in Portsmouth back in the day when it was a very violent place. We're talking football, hooliganism, nightclubs, pubs, fighting, stabbing, shootings, the whole thing. Very dangerous environment. Okay, and you're not going to do well, and you're not going to last that long if you are not paying attention. So what can we talk about? So what we want to do is I want to show you some imagery. Okay, this is the sign of the times now. People are actually wearing these underneath their jackets whilst walking around towns and centres now. Okay, for fear of being stabbed. And I'm not joking. You've only got to look on mainstream media over the last 2 months, and you're going to come up with so many incidences that are being publicly recorded in the mainstream of people being stabbed. And we also had one recently on the train from London. Okay, lots of people are getting poked, and it's very, very dangerous. So we are talking about the streets in the UK. Now, if any of you guys are outside the UK right now, and you've probably heard stories of, oh my God, do you know how bad it is in the UK? In the UK, within the last couple of years, over 12, well, I think it's over 13,000 people have been arrested for social media posts. And in Russia, I think in the same time, it was under 400. So there's a massive difference. And the UK is literally on top of the Champions League as far as social media posts, because more and more people here in the UK are waking up to just how bad this is and realizing what the main problem is. And we already know what the main problem is, why we are seeing this collapse over here. And it's the reason why I got arrested. So I don't need to talk about it anymore. You guys already know what the score is. It's the elephant in the room. So high streets here in the UK. This is not BS. This is not AI. This is not Photoshop. This is what most of our towns and cities are turning out to look like now. And you wouldn't believe how bad the collapse is. We are 100% in a slow societal collapse here in the UK. From my opinion, you're more than welcome to make up your own opinion. So if any of you guys recognize where these pictures are, let everyone know. This one, I know from my own experience, is in a place called Waterlooville, just outside Portsmouth. And it does look like most of the high street or town city centre is in massive decline. So these at night time would 100% be no-go areas. Okay, no CCTV, poor street lighting, no people around, lots of places to hide, a very dangerous place to be in an urban environment. And this again, Waterlooville, where the main drag is, where people spend most of the time walking through. Lots of shops have just literally gone bust, shut up. The crime is unbelievable in that area. It's literally fallen apart. It really is. And I could literally just sit here for a whole hour showing you hundreds, and I mean hundreds of pictures of what it's like in the high streets. Not all of them, but a big bulk of them here in the UK. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. Okay. So, like the title suggests, how do we stay safe with all of this crime everywhere? Bearing in mind, you're not allowed to carry any knives. Out here in the countryside, I carry this everywhere I go. But if I go to any public place, I leave it at home. Okay. Out in the wilderness where I am in the mountains and the woods, something like this is absolutely helpful for all sorts of things. Most of you guys know that I'm a former survival instructor. I'm a military veteran, and I've spent 13 years plus making YouTube prepping and survival videos. So for me, having something like this out in the sticks is great. If you was to carry something like that in the public place in the UK and you got stopped, you would be arrested for carrying something like that. So pretty much the ways and means that you can defend yourself here in the UK is very minimal, unless you're fit and you've got fighting experience within martial arts, boxing, that sort of thing. You are going to be in a good survival grade rating from my experience. But I've done martial arts myself, formerly judo and Kempo jiu-jitsu. Now, what happens when you are in martial arts? One thing which you are not taught is optics, situational awareness. It's true. So it's all well and good having all of these skills of how to defend yourself with your body, your hands, fists, feet, everything like that. Okay. If you are not aware of what's going on, you could easily become a victim, just like some of these numpties, which we see all too often here in the UK. Now, one of the biggest reasons why people turn into victims on the streets in the UK is because they are not paying attention to their surroundings. I mean, let me know in the live chat and the comment section if you're on the replay. Have you seen this sort of thing where you are? People walking around, staring at their phones, have no idea what the hell is going on. Unfortunately, people, it's all too common. And just for a little bit of light-hearted fun, this happened in New York. Exactly. It happens all the time. And I know some of you guys who live in London probably see this all the time, especially with those bike couriers darting through the traffic. The amount of times there's near misses, people get knocked off, all because they are not paying attention. Now, from my experience, 50 years, half a century living in a major city here in the UK, there are so many things that we need to share with some of you guys who maybe live in a small town. Maybe you've moved from city to city somewhere else, whether you live in the suburbs or whatever it is. At some point, you are probably going to be spending some period of time in a heavy, densely populated urban environment. So what do we need to do? One of the first things I would suggest, especially looking at this, is please don't do this. My advice, now you can take it or leave it, it's up to you. Okay, this is just the stuff that I've taught myself, what I've learned, and my experience in how bad people do bad things to good people. Very easy, all because they're not paying attention. Number one, do not walk around in public looking at your phone. Please don't do that. If you do, you need to stop it, because at some point, statistically, you are going to become a victim. Okay, whether you just get your phone snatched, that's bad enough, or you get assaulted and your phone snatched. But not only that, so don't carry a phone around in public looking at it. If you have a phone on you, and most of us carry these surveillance devices, okay, it is what it is. You don't have to. If you don't, kudos to you, we're fair played, but most of us do. So what I would do, if you need to look at your phone, the first thing you should do is to go somewhere where you can put something behind your back where no one's going to come up behind you. So you can like stand against a shop doorway, a window of a shop where no one can come from behind you. And if you do have to look at your phone, every now and again, I would say every couple of seconds, just have a look around. Okay, because all the time you're like this, your focus is on there and not your peripheral vision. And that's where people literally prey on vulnerable people. Another one is headphones. Okay, do not wear headphones in public at all. Even if you just, if you're so addicted and you have to, you think, okay, I'm going to put one headphone in and the other one not. Okay, I wouldn't do it at all. I would make sure that if you're walking around in a public place, make sure that you can see and hear everything. That means no phone, no headphones. It's up to you. But I'm not joking. From the things that I've seen, the things that I've heard, lots of people fall prey to all sorts of nastiness out on our streets in the UK because they got headphones and or looking at phone screens. It's not good, it's not big, and it's certainly not clever. And statistically, at some point, if you do these things, you are going to become a victim. It's logical. Okay, so you've got to be really, really careful about that sort of thing. So like I'm saying, you're walking down the street every now and again, okay, you just go like that. And if you are lucky enough to be walking along a load of shops, all you've got to do is look a little bit, and then you can look at an angle and look behind you from the reflection. Okay, I've said this before, but like I said, we've got nearly 7,000 new people, and some of you might be in the chat right now. Just passing on tips, okay? So that would be covertly peeking behind. Overtly would literally just be going like that. And every now and again, it's okay to do that. It really is, okay? When you're walking around, you're literally scanning like that. You don't have to put yourself in such a stressful situation where it's going to become tiring, overwhelming, okay? You feel safe, and that's an important thing. You feel, right? Your intuition, your instinct, your gut feeling, okay? If you feel okay, that's generally a really good indicator. If you've got any weird feeling that something doesn't feel right, something doesn't look out of place, then you need to act, not just feel it and do nothing about it. This is the difference between a survivor and a victim. Very, very simple. Very simple. Without actions, we don't change anything. And if we don't change how safe we feel, then it's down to us. No one else is to blame. So you're walking around and you're always paying attention, okay? Just looking around. So what are we actually looking for? Okay. Anyone who looks shifty, anyone that looks dodgy, anything that looks out of place, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, that doesn't look good. Okay. We can talk about all sorts of things about body language, but we'll get onto that a bit later. It's very interesting about what people do with their bodies compared to what they're saying. Very important, actually. So another good thing is if you're a shy person and when you're talking with someone, you don't really make eye contact. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I look at straight at the webcam. Lots of people I see do videos, they're just looking at themselves on the screen and you're not engaging with the viewer like we're doing right now. Okay, so always look people in the eye. Now, there's all sorts of weird, yes, is it right? Is it wrong? I've been looking people in the eye since I was about 13. Okay, and it's just how I am. You tend to read a lot more when you look at people's eyes rather than just you're nervous or you're shy and you don't want to look at them. And or for whatever reason, if you are like that, try and get used to just looking people in the eye. You don't have to stare them out, and because that's going to make the situation a lot worse. Okay, so someone's walking towards you like that and you've got a feeling they might be a little bit shifty. First thing you want to do is if they're walking close to you like this, distance yourself a bit. So as they walk past, all you do is you just literally glance at them like that. No more than a second, no more. And when you look at them in the face, in the eye, whatever you want to do, just make it a blank expression, just like that. You're not going to look like this. You're not going to look like that. You're not going to look like this. Just like a passport picture, okay? What you are doing is you're telling that person that you are aware of them. And 90% statistically, that person won't do any harm to you. It's that crazy. It's that simple. I think a lot of people where they struggle is if that situation happened, one, they wouldn't think to move out of the way. They just carry on. And they're aware that that guy's dodgy and they'll look down or look away. But guess what? The dodgy person straight away thinks, wow, this guy is scared, is vulnerable, is weak, is a victim. This is going to be easy. And let me tell you this, right? Criminals on the streets, they prey on vulnerable people. It's just like out in safari. where you've got the lion or the lioness hunting down smaller prey. They are going to watch and observe. And any animals in that pack that comes across as being weak, they are going to be the ones that get taken out. It's exactly the same on the streets. You walk past someone and you're scared, and you show you're scared because I'm looking down. If I'm looking down, it's not going to look at me and everything's going to be all right. Wrong. You've just literally handed to your criminal everything they want on a plate to them. The chances are they're going to turn around, follow you, and do something because you're too scared to acknowledge them and to let them know that you have seen them. Trust me, that is one of the biggest, best pieces of safety information I can give to any one of you guys out there. Just that one simple thing, okay? Please don't stare at them. Don't look at them for too long. Don't show any signs of aggression. Just a blank look. I know you're there, mate. That's what you're thinking. And they see you looking because the chances are they're going to look at you as well, okay? But you don't do it for long. If you do it for ages like that, what do you think is going to happen? And so, oi, what are you looking at? Just a quick, yep, and carry on walking, okay? Give it like 10 seconds. Just have a little look over your shoulder. And if you look over your shoulder and they are staring at you and they've stopped, straight away you know you've got a problem. But the good thing is you're aware of it. They're not going to creep up behind you and put something sharp inside you, okay? So then you've got decisions to make. At least you're aware. And this is what most of this video is about, making people aware. Because if you're not aware, trust me, you will become a victim. Because the amount of poverty, the amount of craziness that's going on out there, people are going to be killing people for no real reason. You really do need to switch on. Like in the army back in the day, right, switch on. That means hyper alert, totally vigilant, okay? We're not taking that entirely into walking down the street, but I'm just saying, just be alert, be aware, okay? So with that being said, little things like you walk into a shop, okay? I don't think, yeah, I have got a picture of a shop. I'll show that later. But you walk into a shop and usually, not all the time, you would hear a sound go to alert the staff that the door's open and someone's coming in, okay? So there's one person working in the shop. They're right at the back, putting some loaves of bread on the shelf or something. Someone comes in, you hear a weird noise, bing, bong, whoop, or whatever it is, a bell, anything. That alerts the person working there. I'm not alone in the shop, someone's in here, and usually their default would be go straight to the till and wait to serve the person who's just entered the shop, okay? So the bell goes off. So you go into a shop and the bell goes off or a sound comes on. Usually people in the shop would look round because there's a noise and they're just curious to see who's just walked in the shop, okay? So normally what would happen, the bell would go off as the door opens, people will look at you, turn around and carry on doing what they're doing. If you're seeing 1, 2, 3 or 4 whatever people looking at you for longer than you feel is needed, an identifier has just been raised. You need to be paying attention to those people because it's not normal for that behavior. Do you see what I'm saying? You're buying yourself time and you're giving yourself ideas of how to act should things go red. Okay, I know it sounds scary, and the thing is, it is scary because you've got to be crazy not to think, you know, the streets out there are no longer safe. Okay, there's not enough police, there's too many arseholes out there, people are desperate, people are skint, crime is gone crazy. You've got to be mad not to see it. So we need to make sure that we are not going to be walking around dressed up in victim mode. It's not big and it's certainly not clever. So another good thing, if you're in a shop and you're walking around, always have a little look to see where the exits are. So is there just one door in and out the front? Is there a little back door? So what we're talking about, if there's a back door in a shop, you're probably looking at something like this, like a fire escape, okay? So if you're in a shop and you see that, right, at least you know where the exit is apart from the front door, okay? If it's a big shop and something goes on, what is everyone going to do? Everyone's going to run out the front door, okay? Where you would probably be wanting to go out the back door, unless you want to be crushed in a stampede. We're talking a big shop with lots of people. It's happened before and it's going to happen again. Nightclubs, football matches, big department stores on fire. Everyone runs to the main door and no one thinks about using alternative doors, okay? So just bear that in mind. You haven't got to make a big thing of it, but just be aware. Aware is the flavor of the video, people. It really, really is. So we're going to be talking about now in this next segment, I've called it switch on indicators. Okay, so reasons to ramp up your alert level. Okay, so earlier on, we're just walking down a high street, we're just scanning, looking around. Okay, and what am I thinking? Could I have him in a fight? Yeah, probably. That other guy? No, he's a lunatic. Okay, be careful of him. What about her, him? No, they seem fine. That guy, stay away from him. He looks like trouble. Okay, well, that's all we're doing. All we're doing is we're just assessing the situation. You can do it really quickly. It's not going to run your CPU brain flat where you're knackered. It's just observation. Okay, and you can only do this when you're not looking at your phone or you've got headphones on. You're fully alert, fully aware, and you feel safe and you feel good. And your intuition is really, really going to help. Because if you aren't tuned into your intuition, you're going to be in a world of hurt really fast. So switch on indicators, like we said. So what we're looking at then, dodgy things, dodgy places, dodgy people, things to make you, right, I need to do something. Move away, turn around, walk away, go into a shop, whatever it is. They're called actions on. We'll speak to those later. But switch on indicators. So what we've been aware of, alleyways. Okay, you're walking down the street, it's dark, you've just said goodbye to your mates at the pub, you've probably got a half-mile walk, you don't want to wait half an hour for a taxi, so sod it, I've had a few drinks, so I'm going to walk home, and you've got a half an hour walk. All right, so there's going to be some lit up areas and some dark areas. Common sense, well, the problem with common sense is I feel it's in short supply this day and age, so I feel I have to say it, because not everyone is going to have common sense. So forgive me if I come across as being a bit of a know-it-all or patronizing. I'm just literally putting it out there. You can do whatever you want with the information, okay? Alleyways, always been a bit of a hotspot in cities, okay? You walk close to an alleyway and there's someone literally right on the edge of the wall and they're waiting. As soon as they come past, they're just going to grab you into the alleyway in the dark. They're going to pull a blade or a shooter out and you're in big trouble. Okay, so if you do notice alleyways or any dark little side bits, give it a wide berth. Okay, so what can we say? There's the alleyway there and you're walking along. Okay, give it a wide berth, walk around it, because what you're doing is you're giving yourself time and space. As you walk past the alleyway, you peer into it as you walk past, and God forbid if there is someone stood there tooled up with a blade, at least you're now 5 feet away rather than 1 foot away in the danger area. Okay, always give corners, alleyways, shop doorways a wide berth, especially at night time. Okay, that's what I do. I just do it instinctively. I've been doing it for like 50 years pretty much. All right, it just sort of gets ingrained. But if you're new to this, start practicing it ASA. Okay, places that have got graffiti on. Okay, so we looked at failing towns. Okay, when places are bad, they're covered in graffiti. Already, you should be heightening your awareness of the situation that this is a rundown area. There's poverty there. There's going to be crime there and an increased risk of violent attacks. So those places are absolutely switch on indicators. So when you see graffiti, what about vandalized street furniture? Street furniture is what is officially known as, so we're talking benches, rubbish bins, bus stops, lampposts, street furniture. Okay, you took all those away, all you'd have is a pavement and a road, and that's it. So street furniture, okay, you need to be aware all of these street furniture areas, and if they've been vandalized, again, you add that on. Okay, this is not a safe place, time to switch on a bit. And if you start seeing things like damaged cars, like there's a window been smashed, there's bits of broken glass on the road or on the pavement. That's a good indicator that there's crime going on and it's no longer a safe zone to drop your guard. In fact, you should do the opposite and increase your guard if you are entering areas like this. If you start to see homeless people, okay, people sleeping rough in shop doorways, okay, that is another indicator, because where there's homeless people, there's going to be problems, okay? And I'm not saying not all homeless people were bad. Lots of them, unfortunately, have ended up in that situation for no fault of their own. But at some point, some people in that environment turn to crime just to get their fix, just to go and buy alcohol, just to go and buy cigarettes. They are going to get desperate and they've got nothing to lose, and they will hold people up at knife point. So when you see homeless people, time to switch on and be more aware. If you start to see shuttered shops, so when all of the everything's been boarded up, okay, usually if it's covered in graffiti, that's another indicator of, okay, time to be more aware now. I'm in a bad zone. You're not going to be seeing stuff like that in Mayfair, all right? It's going to be spelling it out for you, literally, okay? Bad lighting. So a street light is a couple of street lights have been broken. Maybe kids, youths have been setting fireworks off and blowing up street lights. As you can tell by the thumbnail, this was only taken like yesterday or the day before, when it went absolutely mad in Birmingham, when they're literally letting fireworks off everywhere, and absolutely not a safe environment to be in. So areas where there's no CCTV coverage, like I said, when you look at this image here, which is in Waterlooville, there is no CCTVs anywhere on that part of the precinct, okay? So if there's no cameras, that's where criminals love to hang out. So just be mindful, okay? You're walking down the street, you're doing your awareness thing, there's no cameras. If there's a crime committed, there's no evidence, and literally I'm on my own, because lots of the CCTVs in public areas are monitored 24/7, okay? So if you are in trouble, hopefully someone monitoring the cameras will alert police and they'll come straight away to attend a violent assault, all right? So no CCTV coverage, bad zone to be in, okay? What about dead ends in roads, okay? So you live in a town, you live in a city. I would like to think that you spent a lot of time since you've been there walking around in the daytime, seeing where all of the dead ends are, where the hot spots are, where they're dangerous, places that you feel safe because there's more public around. But we'll get on to more of that in a bit later on, okay? When the streets are empty at night time, okay, so no public around. And it's very, very strange. And I've noticed this, and let me know in the comment section under the video. From what I've seen in the last 10 years, okay, you used to say on a Friday and a Saturday night, in most high streets, there'd be pubs, maybe a nightclub in a town or a city, something like that, or maybe a few, like there is in Portsmouth, right? So Friday or Saturday, those areas would be teeming with people right up till 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? Now, after 8, 9 o'clock, it's a ghost town. Very, very strange. And it's mainly down to a few things. The price of alcohol in pubs. A lot of people don't go out to drink. They'd rather go to Aldi and get cheap grog and sit at home playing the Xbox or whatever it is they do now. I don't know. I'm way past all that stuff now. But what I'm saying is the streets are a lot emptier at night time than what they used to be, especially in urban, dense environments. Okay, let me know if you've noticed this, the same thing. Pubs closing down, that's another thing. So streets at night when they're empty are dangerous places, okay? When there's lots of people around, it's not so bad, okay? Usually if there's a fight or whatever it is, someone's going to come to help. Or if you're on your own in your street and you go around the corner and there's a gang of 10 lads there and they just noticed you and they're going to chase after you, wow, that's not going to happen in a massive packed high street at night time with like 400 people milling around. It just won't, okay? So just be careful of empty streets at night time. What else have we got? People hanging around near cash points is another one as well, okay? So you're walking down the street and you think, right, I need to get some cash. Oh, there's a cash point over there. There's a couple of lads stood right by it. No, don't go there. My advice, if it's in the daytime, is find your way to the nearest post office. You can go into any post office here in the UK and withdraw cash from any bank any building society. And it's a lot safer doing it inside a post office, which is lit up, there's cameras, there's people in there, there's staff in there, rather than doing it on a street with two savory looking characters with their hoodies up stood right next to the cash point. To me, it makes common sense, but not everyone gets it. So try and adapt the way of thinking about safety, because like I say, the streets are no longer safe and we need to do something. Okay, don't want to be a victim out there. Like I said, I've had all this experience for donkey's years, and I've been self-taught as well. I spoke to people in counter-terrorism, surveillance, and there's so many things that most people just don't think about. So I hope this video is being of some use. And if you think, oh mate, I know everything that you're saying anyway, I don't need to know anymore, then that's fine, that's no problem. But please share it with someone who you think doesn't know about some of these things, and it might help them. Okay, all you got to do is click the link and share it on WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever it is that you're on, because the more people we can make safe in the UK, the better. Because what happened on that train station and in the train and in the barbershop was horrific. And something tells me that that sort of stuff's going to be more and more common, unfortunately. So the more prepared and the more protected and more safe we are, the better. So sharing videos like this really, really helps. Okay. So what else have we got? Something like a car pulling up beside you. Okay. Very unusual thing. So if you're walking and you're near the curb and a car just pulls up, first thing you do is to slowly walk away, distance yourself. There's a common theme to all of the things I'm saying. And it's things taught in martial arts as well back in the day. Okay. The more distance you have from your opponent, the more time you have to plan or react. Okay. The shorter the distance, you have to react really quick. And not everyone is going to be walking around on hyper alert, kung fu, 10th dan black belt, etc. Okay. So the more distance, the better. So a car starts to pull up, you already clocked it in your peripheral vision because you're not looking at your phone like a numpty. And you see the car there and you think, right, okay, that's not good. I don't like this. I'm just going to walk, I don't know, another 5 feet away from it. And as you do, just have a look, just to let the driver and passenger know that you're aware that they're there. And if they see you looking, like we said earlier, just a little quick glance, just a poker face, nothing serious, they might even drive off because they might think, oh, shit. Is aware, he's seen us. We'll find someone else. They're looking for people looking at their phones with headphones on, or people just not aware. And you can tell people are not aware. And unfortunately, if you look like someone who can't handle yourself, okay, unfortunately, these criminals are going to be targeting the weak and the vulnerable. So if you don't look like you can handle yourself, or you look weak, or if they look at you and you look down because you're scared, you don't have eye contact, that's victim written all over that person. And I feel for them because there's lots of people out there who are scared to, one, look at someone, especially a stranger on the street. So they probably feel safe in their own little world with their little ear pods, whatever they're called, and looking at their phone, okay? But the reality is it's a very, very dangerous environment out there, whether there's cameras or not. When you really look at it, if someone's going to attack someone, I don't care if there's a camera there, the chances are they're going to have a hoodie up and probably one of those little convid face diapers on, okay? And they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. But you need to make sure that you distance yourself to give yourself time and space to think, and you're going to be out of harm's way, literally. All right, very, very important. What about groups of youths or lads or girls for that matter just being loud? Okay, I've seen it loads of times, especially where I used to live down south. Lee Park, wow, what a nightmare place. It was the biggest council estate in Western Europe, and it had a load of problems, and I lived there for 4 years. Crazy place. You got to be on your wits there, mate, I'll tell you that. Because from what I saw there, you would see you know, the convenience store at the end of the road. It's mostly boarded up. Only the shop door is going to open. And I've seen stuff from even up to 20 lads on their push bikes, e-scooters now, all with hoodies on, and they're all being loud. And it's really intimidating. If you just want to walk into that shop to buy a pint of milk or whatever it is, and you've got to like literally walk around all of these people to get in. And sometimes they'll all go quiet and they'll all stare at you like your Father Christmas on Easter or something. And it's not very comfortable. All you need to do is avoid that situation like the plague. Okay. And it's not, please don't put yourself in a mindset where you say to yourself, oh, I'm not going to let all of them intimidate me. I'm still going to go in there and get it. With that attitude, you know, it's not good. Okay. So rethink it. That's what I would do. Okay. And if you picking up, like I said, your intuition, if you're picking up that it's bad and it could go bad, don't carry on and do it, because that's how victims are made. You don't want to do that. If it feels bad, go and find somewhere else to go where it's safer. It's not worth being put on life support over 2 pints of milk. It really, really isn't. Okay. And more people would probably be alive right now if they took advice like that, because I get it. You know, especially me, as soon as you're over 50, I'm 54 now, you know, you're walking around and I'm thinking, I don't give a shit anymore about anything. I don't care. I think you get to 50 and you just stop caring. I don't give a shit about TV, football. I don't care. Don't give a toss. I don't give a crap what anyone says bad about me. Fine. I don't get upset. And if they want to get upset and throw their little toys at the pram and get jealous and all of this, then it's down to them. I'm just like, I'm in my lane, dude, and I don't give a shit. So when you take that attitude into, I'm going to go into that shop, there's 20 thugs there, I don't care, they don't scare me. Well, 20 years ago, that would have been fine. Now, if it's a gang and there's a new guy in the gang, they're going to say to him, if you want to be in our gang, that guy who's walking into the shop, when he comes out, I want you to stab him. If you do that, you can be in our gang. And unfortunately, that happens every frigging week somewhere in the UK, maybe even more regular than that. So it's not worth it. Pick up on your instincts. If it feels off, you don't feel comfortable. I mean, really, I don't care if you've got the best black belt for the best martial arts. Okay, you start having 20 young, fitter people jumping all over you. There's not much you can do. You might take out 4 or 5 of them, but the other 15 are just going to overpower you, and they're going to start poking you and make you look like a sieve. So it's not worth it. It really isn't. So don't let ego get in the way. Think about it, look at it, assess it, and go, nope, sod that. I don't care. I'm going somewhere else. People live longer that way. They absolutely do. All right. It's the ego is going to get a lot of people killed out there. All right. It really, really will, unfortunately. Another thing as well, and this has only become apparent recently. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but criminals, are planting things on the floor, on the pavement, for people to stop, look, and bend down. Okay, so what we're talking about, a wallet, a phone, a packet of fags, whatever it is, a wristwatch, they've been purposefully placing them in certain key areas on the pavement, waiting for that person to come along, to stop, to look down, and as they're bending down to pick them up, straight out of the way, they come out of a shop doorway and they kick that person straight in the face, probably knock them straight out, and then they're going to go through their pockets, get their phone, money, whatever it is, and then they'll pick up that phone that was on the floor and run off. That's getting quite common. So if you are walking around and you do see something on the floor, give it a wide berth. It's not yours. Unfortunately, back in the day, we would pick that up, take it to a police station, and it'd be held in lost property for someone to come and claim it. Them days are long gone, friends. We live in a really rough, shitty, scary place out there now. And this is the sort of things that are happening in the UK. And apparently this is quite a recent development. How long this has been going on for, I don't really know. It also ties into what used to happen in the Vietnam War, where the MVA, the North Vietnamese army, would lay booby traps. You know, the soldiers would be coming along and they're tired, they're knackered, and they look on the floor and say, oh my God, look at that. There's a magazine with bullets in it. And they pick it up, bang, they're gone. There's a mine underneath it. Okay. Or a pressure plate. They'll tread on something near something and set something off. Those sort of tactics are being brought into the field on our streets in the UK, with items being placed on pavements, roads, next to cars, whatever. Okay. Always be aware of your surroundings. Like I said, if you're walking past the shop doorway in a high street, whether you can see into it or not, just slowly give it a wide berth. The closer you are to corners and entrances, the more at risk you are. Please remember that before anything else. Really important. Give corners, alleyways, shop doorways a wide berth. Okay? You don't know. The criminal has got all the time in the world. He knows, or she knows, that stomping grounds, that area. They know it so well. They know where the one-way streets are, where the alleyways are. They know where stairs are and blocks of flats. They know everything. And they're just waiting for that dumb person looking at their phones with those bloody Apple, what are they called? AirPods, earpods, earphones, headphones, right? They're just waiting for that numpty to walk along and walk straight into their trap, and they'll spring on them. The guy or girl won't even know it's happened until it's too late. Okay, so they know the area and they're just waiting for victims. And the softer the target, the better, because they're cowards. No one, no 17-year-old kid with a hoodie with a little Stanley knife is going to hide in a doorway and see a great 7-foot guy built like a monkey with great big tattoos all over him. No one's going to think twice of jumping on him. But they see a slight little guy looking weak and looking, that's going to be the one that they attack. It is what it is. All right. It is what it is. And it's always going to be that way, because these are cowards and they always prey on the weak and the vulnerable, just like the animal kingdom, like we said earlier. Okay. What else have we got? Oh, groups at subways and bridges. Okay. So if you need to cross a bridge over the main road, if you're fortunate and you can see the bridge from ground level and there's no one on there, and look on the other side of the road, there's no gang at the other end, there's no one at this end, then you're pretty okay to cross that bridge. If there's a group of people at the start of the bridge, forget it. Okay, the chances are, a tactic that was used in Portsmouth and bridges and subways there is there'll be a group of like 2 or 3 lads not far from the beginning of a footbridge. Okay, so you walk along and you think, oh, there's a couple of lads there. Oh, they're only young, 16-year-old lads. I'm 25, it's fine. So you walk up there, you get halfway across the bridge, and their mates are at the other side, and they come up, and then the other lads come up. So you're sandwiched in between them in the middle of the bridge. What are you going to do then? Unless you're die-hard Bruce Lee, I don't know what you can do. Okay, you failed because you weren't aware of your surroundings. It's as simple as that. It's just being aware. Okay, and I know this is a lot of information, it's probably overload, but it all makes sense. It should make sense. If any of you guys watching have got an ounce of common sense, you'll be fine. And if you're completely new to all of this, or you're younger or whatever, then I hope you find these points fascinating. You're absolutely free to pause the video later on the replay and start taking notes and look at them and start educating yourself, because until you start coming up to speed with the genuine threat on the streets in the UK, the chances are you could be a victim. It's really, really simple. Okay. Another place as well, which is really iffy, is multi-story car parks. Okay, here in the UK, the amount of crime that happens in multi-story car parks, it's a great place to hang out if you're a criminal. Okay, they're not very brightly lit. Okay, there's lots of places to hide. I mean, think about it. If a multi-story car park was empty, there is still quite a few places to hide. But imagine it with a few hundred or 1,000 cars in there. Loads of places to hide. Really, really scary. If you're lucky, the CCTV will be around if it's brightly lit. If you do have to walk in a multi-story car park and you're walking along a level to your car, walk in the middle of the road. Okay, I don't care if there's cars around. Walk in the middle. Everyone's got to drive slow. Okay, the second you start walking close to cars and you're not paying attention, that's when someone is hiding behind a van like this, and they come straight out as you walk past. They're going to catch you by surprise. They're expecting you. You're not expecting them. And it's the element of surprise is going to catch people out. Okay, so just walk in the middle line where cars can go either side you, that sort of thing. There we go, in focus again. So that makes more sense to me, because you've got more space and you've got more time to think. Again, we said that earlier. So people in London especially, and I think Birmingham is getting a big slice of this, is these youngsters on e-scooters with hoodies. Okay, they will absolutely 100% go up to someone very fast, very quiet. You won't even know they're there. And if you're walking around like this, straight out your hand and they're gone. An extra scary place that sort of crime would happen would be on a corner of a street, okay? Right on the edge. So you've got like a pavement there and you've got the road going around it, okay? You're walking on a pavement, they just go along, take it and go off. Simple, okay? So always keep an eye out for that sort of thing. Like I say, all you need to do is when you're walking around, every now and again, just have a look over. That's all you got to do. It's easy, all right? Don't do it every like 10 seconds because someone's gonna go, well, how's that guy? And they might come up to you. But every now and again, whatever you think you want to, just have a little check. Okay. If you do see someone approaching on a scooter on the road and you're near the curb, distance yourself from the road. There's no way that guy is going to jump onto the pavement, risk hitting a lamppost or a tree or a bin or a phone box or a bench and try to get you off. They're waiting for people to walk along the curb with their phone so they can just snatch it and they're off. That's a big thing. And in a sense, you are going to be lucky if they just take your phone, okay? And if there's 2 or 3 of them and they all just stop, one punches someone, is on the floor, and then they can do anything then. There's going to be a lot more traumatic to have that experience than just having your phone snatched. And that's bad enough. But to sustain physical injuries, you could be in hospital, it could be worse, okay? That's not good, especially for your loved ones as well to go through that. It's a big shame, it really is. Also, anyone getting in your personal space, okay? So a classic thing, a stranger would come up to you and say, oh, excuse me, have you got the time? And what would happen is usually you would go like that. So straight away, you're not aware of anything. You're just looking down, and that's when they bump you straight in the jaw, okay? If anyone asks you the time, you just say, hold on a sec, mate. And the important thing is just to go, hold on a sec, mate. Because what you're doing is you're saying to them, right, even showing your hand, your palm of your hand from body language, right, that they will subconsciously back off a bit. And what you're doing is your hand is there ready as well. So if they do come close, you can grab them and you can do whatever you can. You can parry a block if you need to do that. But you're just creating distance. So as you do that, you walk back and then you look at the phone. Your watch, and then you tell them what the time is. And if they're still coming close to you all the time, right, that is a classic combat indicator that it's going to go hot pretty quick. Okay. The reason they're asking you for the time or a lighter or a spare fag or whatever it is, and if they're continuing to get closer into your personal space, what's your personal space? Whatever your arm's length is, all the way around you, that is your space. You own that shit. That's yours. And if they want to come into that, straight away, indicator, threat, big time. And if they're still coming, you need to do something about it. You can either run away, you could literally stop them, you can go toe to toe with him. But if you just stand there and you look at your watch and they're still coming at you, chances are you're going to come off badly. All right. So that's another little tactic they do, is they encroach upon personal space and they don't stop. They just get worse. All right. Another thing as well, which is it's known in the military, but not really known in civilian life, is if someone is coming towards you, so you're walking along and they're walking this way and they're getting closer to you, if they've got their hands in the pockets or you can't see their hands and they're staring at you as you're walking, you have to try and think they've got a knife in their hand right now in their pocket, and if I don't do something about this right now, this is going to go bad. Okay, so a good indicator, if you can't see their hands and they're staring at you, especially if they've got a hoodie and always a couple of them, leave the situation, cross the road, get out the way, do something. Okay, if you just look at that and go, oh my god, and look down, you're making it so easy for them. Okay, you're going to end up being a pincushion pretty quick. All right. So that's that one. The thing is, I've got 5 pages of notes and we've only gone through 2. So what we're going to have to do, and I think actually Rachel said this, bless her, I'm going to have to do this, a part 2 of this. Okay, because there's a lot more stuff to cover. In fact, I might change the thumbnail and put part 1 on there. So, I'm just checking in. Owen, thank you very much for that, sir. I really appreciate that. Owen's been a member on this channel for a while now. A lovely supporter of the channel. And John, thank you very much for that, sir. That really, really is appreciative. Ah, I'm not sure what that is. Is that Hong Kong? NOK. I'm not sure what NOK is. But thank you very much for that. That's awesome. Greetings from NO. Is that Norway? Could be Norway. Newspaper as soles in your shoes keeps you warm and dry feet. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Put some newspaper in your shoes to keep your feet warm. Absolutely good advice there. Zippy, good day, mate. Morning. Go on, wake everyone up. I bet it's hot out there already, isn't it? So yes, what we're going to do, people, is we're going to continue this live stream at another date. I don't think it should wait until next Friday. I'll probably get this done before then. So make sure that you are notified and you're subscribed, obviously. Otherwise, you could miss out on part two. Part two, there's loads to go through. I mean, I'm not joking. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about this topic. All right, a lot of experience and a lot of know-how and a lot of self-taught info, including stuff from CT people that I know. Okay, it's really cool. Ninja Man, right, Mark? Reg69, thank you for that, sir. Much appreciated. Some lovely people in the house. Just seeing who's in the house. Rachel, my darling, yeah, there is. I'm not mincing my words, people. There is so much more to share. And I'm hoping with what I shared so far is going to be enough if you guys are going to be out in public soon. All right. But seriously, keep on out for part two. You'll be glad you did, because there's more information to be heaped onto all of those hints and tips that I've put out there about how to stay safe in the UK. So thanks ever so much for you guys who have been supporting me behind the scenes. There's links below, PayPal, and of course that I think it was a GoFundMe thing after the police arrest. That's, you guys are awesome supporting me that way, because it's not easy. It really isn't easy. So I'm going to shoot now because I'm absolutely cream crackered. The clocks have gone back. So it's actually 10 o'clock in old money. That's why we're all tired. And it says it's 9 o'clock. I figured it out earlier. So make sure that you share the video if you can. It really helps. If you can, just hit the thumbs up button. It's really, really quick to do. Subscribe and stay notified, because if you don't, you're going to miss out. Oh, thank you very much, LTJ, whatever that is. I've just seen that out there. Oh, you're a star. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So until the next time we meet, you guys take care. Thanks for watching and stay funky.